A wealthy CEO unexpectedly finds himself captivated by his secretary during a private blind date, unaware that she is an ASO employee at his own firm. Before we dive into the tale, please share in the comments where you're tuning in from. Delight in the tale, everyone. Sophia inhaled deeply, gathering her courage. Before stepping into the restaurant, she was attempting to persuade herself that Chloe's suggestion, a blind date, wasn't as terrible as it seemed. In a rush, she entered and spotted a solitary figure at the rear, clad in a white shirt, precisely as outlined in the note. As she drew nearer, an intriguing sight caught her attention. A petite cake adorned with vibrant icing sits at the center of the table. Her heart softened at once. What a considerate gesture, she reflected. With a warm smile, she took her seat effortlessly. Hello, you must be Michael. Correct, she remarked as she shifted her chair into a more comfortable position. I'm surprised you actually remember my birthday. What a thoughtful gesture to bring a cake. William glanced upward, taken aback by the unexpected presence of the young woman. Before he had the chance to rectify the error, Sophia pressed on. Wow, I've experienced numerous dates, but none have been this considerate. You've truly made an impression on me, she chuckled, leaning closer to examine the cake more closely. William remained quiet, watching the unfolding scene. He stood there, anticipating the arrival of his assistant Trevor, who was on his way with the birthday guest, his dog, Bentley. The cake naturally was intended for the dog, but before he could utter a word, Sophia seized the knife. I hope you won't mind, but I'm going to indulge in a piece. She sliced into the cake and savored a hearty mouthful. Incredible, this is absolutely delightful. Was it crafted for you? William found himself smiling, slightly amused by the mix of confusion and her audacity. He chose to remain silent. The tranquility was disrupted when Trevor walked in, cradling Bentley, a petite French bulldog adorned with a blue birthday hat. Trevor remained motionless, a look of bewilderment crossing his face as he spotted Sophia at the table. Dear Mr. William, I apologize for the delay. Bentley felt a flutter of anxiety regarding the head. Trevor gently set the dog on the chair beside William. Sophia stood motionless, the fork clutched tightly in her hand. Her gaze shifted from the cake to the dog, and then to Trevor and William. She finally faced the truth. The cake was not intended for her. Her face flushed a deep crimson. Oh my goodness, I truly apologize, she exclaimed, rising to her feet in haste. It seems I may have chosen the incorrect table to sit at. That Trevor struggled to contain his amusement, while William simply nodded, a smile lingering on his face. No need to fret, it's all part of the game, William remarked, maintaining his composure, while a hint of amusement danced in his eyes. Sophia snatched her bag and hurried out of the restaurant, not glancing over her shoulder as she slipped away through the door. William remained captivated, his gaze fixed on her retreating figure. He was taken aback by her unexpected spontaneity and unwavering confidence. William found himself unable to shake thoughts of Sophia. Who was she really? What was it that sparked his curiosity about this woman who had entered his life so suddenly? 2 days had gone by since the surprising meeting at the Partic restaurant, yet for Sophia it seemed as if it had occurred just yesterday. The memory of consuming a dog's birthday cake in front of an unfamiliar face lingered, a source of deep embarrassment. She couldn't shake off. Chloe naturally found the tale utterly amusing. At the very least, it left a lasting impression. I bet he'll never forget your face, Chloe quipped, her fingers dancing across the keyboard. Indeed, unforgettable for being the one who disrupted his dog's birthday celebration. Sophia sighed, attempting to concentrate on her tasks. Sophia toiled at a bustling marketing firm, her days consumed by looming deadlines, a flurry of administrative duties, and a mountain of reports. Even amidst the hustle, she found joy in her work. It provided the stability she required to care for her ailing mother. On that very day, the atmosphere in the office was electric. Whispers circulated that the new CEO would assume his role that very morning. An enigmatic figure shrouded in mystery stirred a palpable sense of expectation among those present. Sophia, on the other hand, had a moment to dwell on it. She found herself overwhelmed with responsibilities as the clock chimed 9 a.m. The elevator at the heart of Flatch The floor glided open, emitting a gentle, metallic whisper. Sophia stood before the displate door clutching a pile of documents when she noticed the man emerging. She stood. Still, it was he, William, he identified. Her right away as well, their gazes locked, and a tense stillness enveloped the space between them. Sophia's cheeks flushed with a deep sense of humiliation. He, in contrast, appeared to suppress a possible to inside grin. "Good morning," William said, his voice steady and composed as he strode past toward the meeting room. Sophia paused for a moment, attempting to comprehend the events that had just unfolded. So he's the new CEO. What led to this happening? Overwhelmed by discomfort, she made an effort to concentrate on her responsibilities as William stay into the conference room. He was met with warm welcomes from his team. He arrived with the intent to assume control of the company, fully cognizant that his presence came with significant expectations. Yet beneath the surface his mind lingered on the young woman from the restaurant. Later, in the confines of his office, William summoned his assistant Trevor. Trevor, the first require a Cretan, personal secretary without delay, dependable individual capable of organizing my calendar and overseeing appointments. A short while later, Trevor emerged, clutching a folder in his hand. He set it down on the desk and flipped it open, unveiling a collection of intricate profiles accompanied by photographs of the company's staff. Trevor explained that these candidates are already part of the team and possess the necessary experience for the time position. William turned the pages, his gaze wandering over the photos, and resumes until a particular image drew his attention. He halted at once upon catching sight of Sophia's expression. Sophia Clark's name was prominently displayed at the top of the profile. He had no further need to peruse any additional material. William gestured towards the photo, expressing his desire for her to take on the role of his secretary. Trevor arched an eyebrow, taken aback by the swift choice. "Got it, sir. I will take her to your office." Meanwhile, downstairs, Sophia was engrossed in a report when the call came. "In Sophia, the newly appointed CEO would like to meet with you. Could you please head to his office at this moment?" the receptionist inquired. Sophia experienced a shiver coursing down her spine. What could prompt the new CEO to seek a meeting with her? Still attempting to make sense of their fleeting meeting in the elevator, she fixed her hair and ascended the stairs. As the door to the CEO's office swung open, there sat William, poised behind a grand mahogany desk. Sophia paused, her heart pounding in her chest. "Is he the new CEO? How could that happen?" William glanced at her and motioned for her to enter. "Please come in and have a seat, Miss Clark," he said, his voice steady and composed. Sophia complied, striving to steer clear of any direct gaze. William held her gaze for a brief moment, then proceeded with his words. "I am in search of a personal assistant, an individual capable of managing my calendar and overseeing administrative responsibilities." He conveyed that he had heard outstanding recommendations about you and felt you were the ideal candidate for the position. Sophia experienced an unexpected blend of astonishment and unease. Collaborating closely with William would entail confronting the uncomfortable recollection of the restaurant on a daily basis. "Absolutely. I will strive to fulfill your expectations," she responded, maintaining a professional demeanor. William nodded, content with the outcome. "Excellent. Welcome aboard." Sophia exited the office, grappling with a storm of feelings swirling within her. She required the position, yet how could she collaborate with someone who had seen one of the most humiliating episodes of her existence? As Sophia grappled with the notion of maintaining a purely professional relationship, William appeared to harbor his own motives for selecting her as his secretary, factors that may not have solely pertained to her credentials. Sophia's routine shifted rapidly after she embraced the new role. She had taken on the task of managing William's intricate schedule, crafting comprehensive reports for key meetings, and meticulously monitoring the CEO's engagements. Even with her resolve to uphold professionalism, the escalating tension she experienced in his presence was impossible to overlook. William, in contrast, exuded a sense of calm and confidence. Yet there was an intriguing nuance in his interactions with Sophia. He showed her a rare gentleness, a quality that felt out of place against in his usually stern character. A week into her new role, William came over to her desk. "Miss Clark, I would like you to join me for a few external meetings this week." He handed her the list of appointments, emphasizing the importance of getting acquainted with their key clients. Sophia nodded, maintaining a composed demeanor. "Absolutely, sir. I will gather the required documents on that very day." Sophia and William found themselves at their inaugural meeting as a duo. She observed the way he exuded confidence and made decisions with clarity, garnering the respect of everyone present. Throughout the meeting, he intermittently cast his gaze in her direction, seemingly assessing her as responses to the ongoing discussions. It stirred a hint of anxiety within her, yet she aided in maintaining her poise. Following the meeting, William proposed they share a lunch to go over the next steps. Sophia paused briefly, but in the end, she consented. "How are you settling into the new position?" he inquired while perusing the menu. "It's a tough journey, yet I'm gaining so much knowledge along the way." Sophia responded with caution. "That's excellent," William remarked with a subtle smile that he takes pleasure in collaborating with individuals who are able to embrace new challenges. The lunch unfolded without a hitch, yet Sophia couldn't shake off the unease of his proximity despite her efforts to concentrate on the discussion at hand. The intensity of his gaze stirred something within her, causing her heart to quicken. That evening, following a lengthy day filled with meetings, William was determined to offer Sophia a ride home. "The hour is late, and you seem utterly drained. Allow me to drive you home," he insisted, his voice firm and unwavering. Sophia attempted to resist, yet ultimately succumbed. The quiet inn. The car felt soothing as we traveled along. As they reached her building, Sophia swung the door open and stepped outside, only to twist her ankle in an unfortunate mishap. "That hurts," she cried, out teetering on the edge of stability. Just as she was about to tumble, William appeared beside her, gripping her tightly. "How are you doing?" he inquired with a hint of worry. Sophia struggled to regain her composure, yet the agony in her ankle was unmistakable. "I believe I may have twisted my ankle, but I'm all right. I can manage to get upstairs by myself." William dismissed her effort to push him away and lifted her effortlessly. "This isn't open for debate. I'm bringing you to your apartment, Mr. Bennett. There's no need for you to do that." Sophia voiced her objections, yet he continued to ascend the stairs with her in his arms. As they arrived at her apartment door, Sophia hurriedly unlocked it, her cheeks still flushed with embarrassment over the situation. William carefully set her down on the sofa, his gaze sweeping the room. "Are you living by yourself?" he inquired, as she tended to her ankle. Sophia replied, avoiding eye contact. "I live with my mom, but she's in the hospital tonight." William sensed the uncertainty in her tone, yet chose to refrain from pursuing the matter right then. "I'll allow you some time to relax. We'll pause our meetings tomorrow to give you some time to recuperate," he said before departing. Sophia gazed at the door, a sense of unusual safety enveloping her, yet she couldn't shake off the bewilderment stemming from his actions. The following day, William approached her desk, his expression noticeably more serious. "I've been reflecting on your workload. I understand you're putting in a lot of effort, but it's important for you to prioritize your well-being. I don't want you to go too far," he said, gazing intently into her eyes. Sophia's cheeks burned with her tolerant eyes. Sudden warmth, she was taken aback by the process and unexpected words, particularly coming from someone known for their straightforward and assertive nature. "Thank you, kind sir. I'll strive to find a better balance," she responded, feeling a bit uncertain about her words. As he strolled away, William appeared content with her reply, yet Sophia sensed that this intimacy was beginning to entangle in matters. She had to discover a method to uphold professional boundaries despite her heart beginning to suggest a different path. The tension between them intensified with each passing day, yet Sophia understood that engaging with William would be a misstep. She simply could not allow herself to take, yet it appeared ever more challenging to withstand the man who prompted her to reevaluate all her principles. Sophia and William's relationship unfolded in surprising and unforeseen directions. Even while upholding a polished exterior, Sophia found it impossible to escape the instances when William's stare felt like it was delving deep into her, as though he sought to reveal every hidden truth she possessed. She understood the necessity of maintaining an emotional barrier, yet his thoughtful actions and unwavering attention continually unraveled her resolve. On a serene afternoon at the office, Sophia found herself poring over the schedule for the upcoming week when Chloe entered, carrying 2 cups of coffee. "You won't believe this," Chloe said, sliding a cup across the table. Sophia beamed, graciously taking the coffee. Chloe consistently brought warmth and brightness to the tumult of the workplace. "How's the experience of collaborating with the CEO of Mr. Magazine going?" Chloe chuckled softly. "Is he truly as frightening as the rumors suggest?" Sophia paused, peed for a moment, then burst into laughter. "He doesn't. To evoke fear, he can be quite insistent, yet just. And there are moments when his kindness shines through unexpectedly." Compassionate. Chloe arched an eyebrow. That pecus." "My curiosity." Sophia let out an exasperated sigh, but just as she was about to reply, "Trevor showed up, Miss Clark. Mr. Bennett requests your presence in his office at once." Sophia let out a soft sigh and set her cup aside, rising to her feet as she stepped into William's office. She discovered him by the window, seemingly absorbed in contemplation. He pivoted at the sound of the door, shutting. "Sophia, I would like you to join me for a social gathering this Friday evening. I have a crucial meeting with investors, and it would be beneficial to do that. Have assistance with the presentations." "Absolutely, sir. I will arrange all the essentials for the event," she responded, maintaining a polished demeanor. "Owen." William paused, a rare occurrence for him. "Please act as if you are my girlfriend." During the event, Sophia blinked, a look of bewilderment crossing her face. "Your partner?" William inhaled deeply before he began to articulate his thoughts. "Vanessa, my former girlfriend, will be present. She is unwavering in her efforts. I aim to steer clear of any uncomfortable or superfluous scenarios. It's merely for a single evening." Sophia held her tongue. For a brief moment she was taken aback by the request, yet it was difficult to refuse him. "Very well, if it must be done, I will take care of it, but I expect no compensation for my efforts," she stated resolutely. William appeared taken aback by her reply, yet he nodded in full acknowledgement. "Absolutely, I appreciate this." Sophia Friday arrived in a flash, and Sophia experienced a rush of anticipation as she got ready for the event. She donned a sophisticated dress lent by Chloe, who was eager to assist her in preparing for the occasion. As William pulled up to collect her, he hesitated for a brief moment, a look of surprise crossing his face at the sight of her. "You look stunning," he said, his voice a gentle whisper more tender than ever before. Sophia offered a timid smile. As they settled into the car at the mansion's event, Sophia embodied her character, flawlessly radiating warmth and engaging with the attendees. Yet it didn't take long for Vanessa to make her way over. "William, what a delightful surprise," she remarked with a fiend smile before shifting her attention to Sophia. "And this is Sophia, my girlfriend," William declared with conviction, grasping Sophia's hand. Vanessa scrutinized Sophia from head to toe, her intent unmistakably aimed at unsettling her. How captivating! With a warm smile, she wished them a delightful evening before turning to leave. William gently clasped Sophia's hand, offering a subtle gesture of comfort as they made their way home. William chose to take Sophia back to her apartment once more. "As we traveled, he remarked, you were amazing this evening, and I truly appreciate your assistance with everything." Sophia smiled, her tension easing slightly. It was a delight. Mr. Bennett. Upon their arrival, Sophia exited the car and expressed her gratitude to him once more. Yet as she attempted to hurry, she tripped. William grasped her around the waist, anchoring her firmly in place. "You really ought to pay attention to your surroundings," he playfully remarked, a sincere smile lighting up his face. Sophia chuckled, her heart pounding with excitement. Yet in that instant, there was a shift in William's gaze, as if he yearned to express something deeper before he had the chance. She expressed her gratitude once more and made her way to her apartment. "Let's enjoy ourselves with those who merely skim through the comments Drop pizza in the comments only. Those who reach this point will get it. Let us proceed with the tale the matterly. The following morning, William entered the office as he typically did, yet there was an unmistakable change in his demeanor. He appeared to be in deeper thought. In the course of the daily meeting, he would sometimes cast a sidelong look at Sophia, causing a ripple of discomfort within her even as she feigned ignorance of his gaze. Not long after lunch, Trevor strolled into Sophia's office, an envelope clutched in his hand. "Sophia, Mr. Bennett has requested that you personally deliver this to the finance department. He mentioned that it's urgent." Trevor conveyed the information to her with his characteristic professionalism. Sophia grasped the envelope and made her way down to the lower floor. As she stood by the elevator, she caught snippets of voices that felt all too familiar. Two members of the administrative team were engaged in a conversation about the events of the previous night. "Did you notice Mr. Bennett with that woman at the event? What an intriguing pair they are. Wouldn't you agree?" One remarked. "That interesting is a rather diplomatic way to express it. Surely he could find someone far more fitting for his role." "Wouldn't you agree?" the other responded. With a chuckle, Sophia sensed a wave of unease wash over her. She was aware that many believed she wasn't the right fit and for someone like William. But what was it that troubled her so deeply? He turned out not to be her genuine boyfriend. After all, the hours stretched endlessly, and Sophia struggled to concentrate on her tasks. As the afternoon waned, William made his way to her desk. "Sophia, I would appreciate it if you could join me for an off-site meeting tomorrow. Your support is essential for this significant client." He presented her with a folder containing details. "Absolutely, sir. I'll arrange all the essentials," she responded, maintaining a polished demeanor. The following day, Sophia and William went to the meeting side by side. As they drove along, William appeared at ease, casually discussing some concepts for upcoming endeavors. Sophia seized the moment to scribble notes, her lips curling into a stint lips. He bret a lips smile at some of his more laid-back remarks. The meeting unfolded positive. Pos L and Sophia sensed that her efforts were finally being acknowledged. As the day drew to a close, William proposed that they pause at a nearby restaurant for dinner before returning to the office. "You've earned some time to unwind after today. Honestly, I'd prefer to dine here than navigate through traffic at this moment," he remarked nonchalantly. Sophia paused for a moment, but ultimately gave her consent. At dinner, they engaged in conversation about their jobs, while also delving into more personal subjects. Sophia recounted some memories from her childhood touching on her mother's illness. William, in turn, recounted how he had assumed control of the company amidst unforeseen circumstances. "My mother is my entire world," Sophia spoke gently. "I'm doing my best to take care of her. She has consistently been there for me, even during the challenging times." William scrutinized her with a deeper gaze, as if peering past the surface of her polished exterior. He came to understand that Sophia held depths far beyond his initial perceptions. Following a serene dinner at the restaurant, William graciously offered to escort Sophia to the hospital where her mother was being cared for. As they traveled, he observed the strain etched on her features and the way her fidgeting hands clutched the seatbelt tightly. Sophia's anxiety was mind-on palpable, yet she chose to keep her thoughts to herself. Upon their arrival, Sophia attempted to bid farewell swiftly, yet William was determined to escort her to the room. "Your presence made dinner feel less solitary. I believe it's only right to reciprocate the kindness. I just want to check in and see that everything is all right with your mum," he said, offering a comforting smile. With a hint of hesitation, Sophia consented, and they made their way through the hospital hallways until they arrived at the room. Upon entering, she caught sight of her mother, Grace P.E., peacefully resting in bed, lost in a deep slumber. The psalm of would not lichen beat. Surrounding machines emitted gentle, rhythmic beeps, signaling that all was well and stable. She recently underwent surgery. Sophia adjusted Grace's blanket, noting that she's recovering well but still requires some time to rest. William observed quietly, honoring the significance of the moment. After a brief moment, he softly placed his hand on Sophia's shoulder. "I'll step away and let You both have some time together. If you require assistance, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be here." Sophia inclined her head, expressing her gratitude with a timid smile. Once William departed, Grace started to awaken in bed gradually, lifting her eyelids. "Sophia," she called, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm here, Mom," Sophia replied, grasping her hand tightly. Grace glanced about, a look of bewilderment crossing her face before a sense flicker of recognition sparked within her. "Who was that gentleman accompanying you? He appeared unique. Is he your partner?" Sophia stood still, her breath caught in her throat. She was aware of the pressure her mom placed on her to begin dating and embrace life rather than focus solely on work. Without a moment to gather her thoughts, Sophia reacted on instinct. "Indeed, Mom, he is my boyfriend." Grace's face beamed with a bright smile, unmistakably delighted at last. "My dear, I always believed you would discover someone wonderful. He appears to be quite remarkable." Sophia offered a gentle smile, making an effort to conceal her unease. After a few moments, Grace drifted back into slumber, while Sophia remained beside her, grappling with the weight of her recent actions. The seasoned following morning, Sophia invited William to join her for coffee at a quaint bakery close to the office. He appeared taken aback by the invitation, yet he accepted it without a moment's pause. As they settled at the table near the window, Sophia inhaled deeply before she began to speak. "I have something to share." She started, her gaze averted from him. "My mom spotted you at the hospital yesterday, and I ended up mentioning that you were my boyfriend." William paused, his silence revealing a lack of surprise. He merely lifted an eyebrow, intrigued. "What led you to say that?" he inquired with a sense of tranquility. Sophia anxiously toyed with her coffee cup while she elaborated. "My mom constantly urges me to date and shift my focus away from work. She's unwell, and I hope to avoid letting her down." I blurted it out without a second thought. William leaned in a bit, his gaze locked onto hers. "So, what is it that you would like me to do?" he inquired, a subtle grin playing at the corners of his mouth. "I was hoping you could act as my boyfriend just for the time she's in the hospital. I wish to spare her any concern regarding my well-being." Sophia appeared anxious, yet grateful to finally express what had been weighing on her mind. To her astonishment, William acted without delay. "Absolutely, Sophia. If it can assist you and your mother, I'm willing to do it." Sophia gazed at him, a mix of astonishment and gratitude washing over her. "Thank you, William. Your kindness means a lot to me." In the days that followed, William executed his role flawlessly. He accompanied Sophia to the rivalous hospital, his attentiveness and care effortlessly earning Grace's fondness too. Grace William appeared to be the perfect match for her daughter, and she openly expressed her delight at their placid, blossoming relationship amidst the hospital visits and the demands of work. William and Sophia found themselves sharing more moments together. He entertained her with tales from his youth, while she captivated him with her sharp mind and unwavering resolve. Despite the superficial nature of their arrangement, the two started to develop a real bond. One evening, after a hospital visit, William paused in front of taking the Sophia's apartment and escorted her to the door just as he always did. Yet just as she was about to step inside, he softly took hold of her arm. "Sophia, hold on." She pivoted, taken aback. William's gaze was locked onto hers, more piercing than ever before. Before she had the chance to speak, he moved closer and pressed his lips against hers softly and unexpectedly. Sophia hesitated for a moment, but soon melted into the kiss, momentarily losing herself in the world around her. As they finally separated, William gazed at her, a blend of earnestness and fragility in his expression. He confessed that while he understood it was merely an arrangement, the act of pretending was becoming increasingly difficult. Sophia found herself at a loss for words, her thoughts swirling in chaos, and her heart pounding in her chest. She entered her apartment in silence, leaving William at the threshold, engulfed in his own reflections about the events that had just unfolded the following morning. Sophia made her way to the office ahead of her usual schedule. She required some time to reflect on the events of the previous night. William's kiss remained etched in her thoughts, igniting a tempest of mixed feelings. She couldn't ignore the depth of her connection in that moment, yet it also added layers of complexity to everything. William appeared more composed than he had ever been as he stepped into the office. He offered Sophia his familiar smile, yet there was an unusual depth in his eyes, hinting at unspoken words, as if he were biding his time for the perfect opportunity to share them. The hour stretched endlessly as they both sidestepped any reference to the kiss. Sophia attempted to concentrate on her tasks, yet William's fleeting looks were simply too distracting to overlook. As the day drew to a close, Sophia felt a strong desire to depart, yearning for a moment of mental respite after a gaze too compacted for the wave stretch of stress. As she stepped through the main doors of the building, an unexpected surprise awaited her. Two men stood on the sidewalk, their jackets frayed and their expressions tinged with impatience. Sophia instantly identified them. These were the very men from whom she had now taken a loan to cover her mother's surgery expenses. Miss Clark, it seems we've been waiting an excessive amount of time for that payment, one of them remarked, arms crossed. Surely you're aware that our tolerance has its limits. Correct, the other added, his tone threatening. Sophia inhaled deeply, striving to maintain her composure. I just need a bit more time. I'm on the verge of securing the funds. I just need a few more days, she replied, her voice quivering ever so slightly. Little did she know William had just stepped out of the side entrance of the building and caught wind of the conversation. He lingered, observing the drama as it unfolded before him. Sophia's words resonated within him. I'm so close to securing the funds. Elements started to crib a lead line for him, their encounter at the restaurant, her unexpected engagement in his projects, and now this questionable interaction. Could it have been a repented, calculated move to exploit his status and affluence? With a few tour exchanges of farewell, the men departed, and Sophia appeared noticeably relieved. William, keeping his knowledge to himself, slipped into his car as he made his way home. Thoughts surged through his mind with a frenetic energy. Was her presence at my table that day truly just a matter of chance? Was this orchestrated from the beginning? He remembered the authentic bond he shared with Sophia, yet uncertainty now overshadowed each recollection. With every fleeting second, his doubts became heavier, pressing down on him relentlessly. The following morning, Sophia made her way to the whip office once more, arriving early. Upon seeing William enter, she greeted him with a shy smile. Good morning, Mr. Bennett, she murmured gently. To her astonishment, he strode by her without casting a glance, and in her direction his lack of concern left her feeling perplexed and unsettled. Throughout the day, William kept his distance, engaging with her only when absolutely necessary, and in a tone that felt cold and detached. Sophia sensed the pressure building with each passing hour. As the day drew to a close, the weight of the silence became unbearable for Sophia, prompting her to take the step of confronting him. She rapped on his office door and stepped inside before he had a chance to reply. Pardon me, Mr. Bennett, I need to talk to you, she said, her arms crossed tightly as she tried to conceal her unease. William gazed at her, his expression a perfect facade of apathy. What is it, Sophia? I'm busy, he said sharply. Sophia scowled. This was uncharacteristic of him. Is everything all right? Your behavior has been quite unusual throughout the day. Have I made a mistake? William released a harsh chuckle, shaking his head in disbelief. Is there an issue, Letun? Take a moment, Sophia. Do you believe that our meeting at a stranger table that day was merely a graphic matter of chance, or could it have been a meticulously devised plan? What do you mean by that? She inquired, her voice quivering. William rose, resting his hands on the desk as he met her gaze with intensity. You only approached me because you were aware of my identity, because you were aware of my affluence and believed I could assist with your issues. This was all orchestrated, wasn't it? Sophia stood, still taken aback by his words. Are you truly convinced of that? She inquired, her voice trembling. What other conclusions can I draw? Last night, I overheard you conversing with two men, pleading for additional time to gather the funds. What should I be thinking? Sophia, he exclaimed, his voice rising, a blend of frustration and disillusionment. Do you genuinely believe I'm that type of individual that I could influence someone in such a way? She responded, her eyes glistening with the weight of unshed tears. I find myself at a loss for thoughts these days. What I perceive is a narrative that resonates clearly. Honestly, I'm weary of being deceived by seemingly good intentions that reveal themselves as falsehoods. William shot back. Sophia tightened her fists, battling the surge of pain and fury that threatened to choke her. She understood that articulating her predicament at that moment would serve no purpose. He had firmly decided. I was taken aback by your low opinion of me, however. If that is your conviction, I cannot alter your perspective. Her voice was soft and measured. I anticipated greater things from you, William. Sophia, without pausing for a reply, pivoted on her heel and exited the room, the door slamming shut with more force than she had meant to exert. As she strolled through the corridor, tears began to flow down her cheeks. Once Sophia departed, William settled into the chair despite his desire to validate his suspicions. Her reaction unsettled him in a profound way. The pain reflected in her eyes appeared far too genuine to be feigned. He raked his fingers through his hair, attempting to sort through the chaos of his thoughts. Subsequently, Trevor made his way into the room to present a few reports. Observing the look on William's face, he paused momentarily before uttering a word. My dear sir, you appear to be troubled. Is everything all right? William initially resisted, but ultimately found himself sharing his thoughts. Sophia, there's an inconsistency that needs addressing. I'm uncertain whether I'm being just or if I've erred in my judgment. Trevor, possessing some knowledge of Sophia's narrative, chose to share his thoughts with all due respect. I must say that Sophia stands out as one of the most committed individuals I have encountered. She dedicates herself to caring for her mom, and I've never witnessed her seeking help from anyone. If you suspect she has hidden intentions, it could be beneficial to rethink your stance. Those words resonated in ABC William's thoughts. What if he had made a mistake? What if he had misjudged Sophia? He UNDO'd that answers were essential, yet he dreaded the possibility that he had already inflicted irreversible harm. Sophia reached the office ahead of schedule the following morning, yet the sting of William's accusations lingered vividly in her thoughts. Even though she was wounded, she chose to concentrate on her job and steer clear of any personal engagement with him. Her foremost concern was to safeguard her dignity, even if it not required navigating the widening gap between them. William, in contrast, found himself restless throughout the night, unable to settle into sleep. The dialogue with Trevor and the recollections of the time spent with Sophia stirred a growing unease within him. What if he had made a mistake? What if, instead of revealing a falsehood, he had distanced himself from the one individual who truly meant the world to him? As the clock approached mid-morning, William sat in his office, poring over a stack of documents when Trevor stepped in, his demeanor cautious and uncertain. Excuse me, I trust I'm not interrupting, but there's a matter I believe you ought to be aware of. William glanced upward, a frown creasing his brow. What is it, Trevor? Trevor paused briefly, yet ultimately chose to press on it. Revolves around Sophia. I'm not sure what transpired between you both, but I can see she's been dealing with numerous difficulties. She prefers to keep it to herself, but her mother recently underwent a complex surgery, and she has handled everything independently without reaching out for assistance. Trevor's words twisted in William's gut. He recalled Sophia's compassion, the tenderness with which she looked after her mother, and a wave of self-loathing washed over him for not recognizing that. Before passing judgment on her proceed, William urged, his tone softened. There are whispers circulating that she took out a loan to manage her medical bills. I'm aware that she's facing challenges with her debt, yet she has never resorted to it as a reason to request anything from the company or from you. She carries herself with great pride, sir. It might be worthwhile to reflect on that before making any assumptions. William settled into his chair. He sensed the burden of his choices, coming to terms with the fact that he had committed a grave error. Ultimately, William concluded that a conversation with Sophia was necessary. He understood that offering an apology was merely the beginning, yet it was essential. He lingered until the final moments of the workday approaching her desk only to discover it devoid of her presence. With unwavering resolve, he made his way to the hospital, fully aware that her mother was there. Upon his arrival, he noticed Sophia in the waiting room, her head cradled in her hands. She appeared utterly drained, both in body and spirit. After a brief pause, he inhaled deeply and approached her with determination. "Sophia," he uttered, his tone gentle. She glanced upward, taken aback to find him standing there. Her expression instantly turned steely. "What brings you here?" she inquired with a chill in her voice. William settled beside her, acutely aware of the remember, seeing with the life-to-life acts, in the dive of the remember, and clad of the bestively, in the life-to-life times, gravity of the moment. "I have come to express my regrets. I came to understand that I was unjust towards you." Sophia folded her arms, striving to keep her poise intact. "Unfair is a general term for your actions, William. You charged me with a grave accusation without making any effort to grasp the reality of the situation. I'm aware, and I feel remorse," he stated, his tone brimming with earnestness. "I acknowledge my mistake and accept full responsibility. I caught snippets of a discussion and leapt to assumptions. However, I kindly ask for the opportunity to correct it." Sophia remained quiet, observing in him intently. Her eyes held a blend of anguish and a flicker of something profound beneath the surface. William longed for the bond they once shared. "Can you imagine the struggle of facing accusations for something you didn't commit?" she inquired, her voice quivering. "I would never act in the way you imagined." "Absolutely not," William nodded, absorbing the gravity of her words. "I understand that now, and I will do everything possible to demonstrate my remorse to you. Sophia, simply let me know the way." In the days that ensued, William exerted every effort to demonstrate to Sophia his unwavering resolve to rectify his mistakes. He began with subtle acts of kindness, assisting her with reports, making sure she could visit her mother in the hospital, and even surprising her with coffee in the comb mornings. "How about we engage in a fun little activity with those who focus solely on the comments? Leave a comment with Coca-Cola. Only those who delve this deep will truly grasp the meaning." Let's return to the narrative. Sophia, initially unsure, started to perceive the genuine nature of his actions. Slowly, her frustration transformed into a tentative sense of optimism. Perhaps William truly felt remorse. One afternoon, as they toiled over a crucial presentation, William halted and turned his gaze toward her. "Sophia, I want to assure you that I have complete faith in your honesty without needing any proof. I have faith in you now, and I regret not feeling that way earlier." Sophia gazed at him, taken aback by the raw honesty in his tone. She understood that William was not one to readily acknowledge his errors, and that significance held more weight for her than he might ever comprehend. "I trust you, William, but it will require time to mend what has been shattered," she said with sincerity. William acknowledged her words with a nod. "I am prepared to be patient for it, however long it may require." While the apology marked a significant milestone, Sophia continued to tread carefully, yet an undeniable connection was rekindling between them, a bond that even William's error couldn't diminish. William devoted the following days to pondering their return dialogue at the hospital. The burden of his error hung heavily in his grosted thoughts. He realized he had caused pain to someone who had consistently offered kindness and commitment. Every action Sophia had taken, even prior to the found misunderstanding, now appeared laden with significance. She was authentic, a rarity in his realm filled with facades and hidden agendas. Sophia, in contrast, experienced a whirlwind of emotions. Though she yearned to accept that William's regret was sincere, his words lingered in her thoughts, and the scar left by his betrayal was profound. She had endeavored to concentrate on her tasks and the care of her mother, yet the heaviness of their clash remained palpable. The following morning, Sophia entered the office and discovered William in the break room. He grasped 2 cups of coffee, and upon seeing her, he extended one in her direction. After a brief pause, she decided to accept it. "Thank you," she said, her tone measured yet courteous. "I understand that regaining your trust will take time," William said, his tone measured in earnest. "Rest assured, my Efforts to resolve this will not waver. Sophia took her time before replying. She savored a sip of coffee, allowing the soothing warmth to envelop her senses, before turning her gaze towards him. Repairing matters transcends mere language, William. It's all about actions, she stated clearly. He acknowledged her challenge with a nod. William understood that he needed to demonstrate through steady efforts his dedication to mending the connection between them. That afternoon, while they went over for a presentation together, Sophia observed that William was particularly silent. He appeared uncertain, as if he had something to express. At last he shattered the stillness. Sophia, may I pose a question to you? He inquired, his tone tinged with caution and a hint of vulnerability. She regarded him with a quizzical lift of her eyebrows. Absolutely. What stopped you from seeking assistance? I mean, you are truly powerful. You've always managed to take care of everything by yourself, yet there are moments when seeking assistance can be a strength rather than a flaw. This merely humankind. She was taken aback by the question. She paused, her mind sifting through thoughts, seeking the perfect expression. Seeking assistance has and consistently posed a challenge for me, particularly since others frequently misinterpret it as a sign of weakness or reliance. I aim to demonstrate my ability to tackle my challenges independently. It has consistently been this way. William nodded, as if a crucial revelation about her had finally dawned on him. The quiet that enveloped them had transformed into something serene. It brimmed with shared insight. As the workday drew to a close, William accompanied Sophia to the folly elevator. She paused, her finger hovering over the button to descend, her gaze fixed on him. I recognize your efforts, William, and I truly value them, she said, with a gentler tone than before. The gentle smile she offered just before the melt doors shut filled William's heart with warmth. It was a modest stride, yet again momentous one in the days that ensued. William persisted in demonstrating his to the world genuine nature through small and considerate acts. He ensured that Sophia received all the assistance she required in her professional environment, while also honoring her need for personal space. Sophia couldn't help but recognize his sincere dedication. Gradually the chill that had enveloped her started to dissipate. One evening following a lengthy day at the office, William proposed that they share a meal to brainstorm some project ideas. Sophia nodded in agreement, and together they made their way to a quaint little restaurant tucked away from the city's clamor and chaos. As we gathered for dinner, the atmosphere was easygoing and carefree. After weeks of uncertainty, a sense of ease washed over Sophia as she found herself comfortable in his presence once more. They chuckled over old tales, and William even opened up a little about his own experiences, rarity for him. As he dropped her off at Plus home, he lingered at the door for a send moment, an unspoken thought hanging in the air, yet ultimately chose silence over words. Sophia stepped into her apartment, a sense of change washing over her. Perhaps, just perhaps, she might find a way to trust him once more. William, however, understood that this was merely the first step in his quest to reclaim Sophia's heart. Yet for the first time he sensed a glimmer of hope. The hurt from the misunderstanding lingered, still not fully mended. They both sensed that the initial stride toward conquering it had been made. The following morning, as Sophia entered the office, she discovered a note from William waiting for her on the desk. An invitation arrived, beckoning me to join him for a meeting with a significant new client. That very afternoon she paused, fully aware that it was an essential aspect of her responsibilities in her role. You did accept the invitation, didn't you? Inquired Chloe, drawing near with a cup of coffee in hand. Sophia gave a slight shrug. My choices are quite limited, Zask. Chloe arched an eyebrow, scrutinizing her intently. Task, absolutely, but let's be honest, you enjoy the spotlight. He is evidently making an effort to rectify the situation. That doesn't alter the tenrupest events. Chloe, he questioned my abilities in a manner I could never have anticipated, and that causes pain. Chloe acknowledged with a nod, grasping the situation. Keep in mind that perfection is an illusion. Occasionally, individuals err. Yet, the crucial aspect lies in their subsequent actions. If he's making an effort, it might be valuable to listen to what he has to say, Sophia contemplated her friend's words while getting ready for the meeting. Eventually, William approached her desk and together they made their way to the meeting location. The car was enveloped in a serene silence, a stillness that felt oddly comforting. William appeared anxious as though he was searching for the perfect expression. Sophia, he started as he drove. I understand there's much more to discuss between us, and I want you to know that I'm here prepared to live whenever you feel ready. Sophia gazed at him for a moment, assessing the genuine authenticity reflected in his eyes, even though she wasn't prepared for a more profound discussion. At that moment, his words resonated with her. I appreciate your kind words, William. For the time being, it seems prudent to concentrate on our tasks at hand. He acknowledged her choice with a respectful nod. The gathering proved to be quite fruitful. Sophia admired William's skill in managing clients and successfully finalizing deals. At times it was simple to lose sight of the reasons behind his circumstances. His resolve and charm were unmistakable. As they departed, he caught her off guard by proposing they pause for dinner. The day stretched on endlessly. I believe we should take a moment to relax before making our way home, he remarked, a smile gracing his face. Sophia paused for a moment, then nodded in agreement. As we sat down for dinner, the dialogue unfolded effortlessly. William appeared to be in a more laid-back state, and Sophia found herself feeling comfortable as she absorbed his anecdotes and humorous remarks about his job. As they strolled back to the car, William abruptly halted and turned his gaze toward her. Sophia, 3-2 had understand that you may still have your reservations about me, but I want to assure you that I am genuinely working on becoming a better individual, dedicated to you. His words took her off guard. Sophie's heart raced, yet she found herself at a loss for words. Instead, she averted her gaze, summoning the fortitude to maintain her poise. In the days that followed, William's gestures persisted, compact yet significant. He was careful to be mindful of her needs, whether by easing her responsibilities or providing assistance with daily obstacles. While Sophia stayed wary, there was a subtle change in her demeanor. She observed that, in spite of the error he had committed, William was sincerely striving to rectify the situation. One evening, while they were examining a project together at the office, William approached her with a sense of hesitation. Sophia immersed herself in the documents, yet his presence caught her attention, prompting her to glance up. May I pose a question to you? He remarked with caution. Certainly, she responded, intrigued. William inhaled deeply before proceeding. What made you hold on to me following all that transpired? I mean, why do you remain, allowing me the constrain me opportunity to make amends? Sophia paused, contemplating the question in silence. At last, she responded with sincerity. I suppose it's due to the fact that I perceived something within you, William. Despite all that has transpired, I hold on to the belief that you are more than just the person who passed an unjust judgment on me. You are so much more than that. William experienced a surge of relief and deep emotion at her words. He leaned in just a bit, a silent yearning to bridge the distance, yet paused, honoring the invisible lines that remained between them. Sophia averted her gaze, a hint of anxiety flickering within her, yet a subtle smile played upon her lips. As she exited the room, William felt a sense aliven for resolved brain, a flicker of optimism for the first time in weeks regarding his relationship with Sophia. He understood that a great deal remained ahead of him, yet he was prepared to take any necessary steps to win back her trust. Their bond, delicate yet resilient, appeared to be deepening. Once more they both recognized the unpredictability of their path, yet neither was prepared to surrender. William persisted in his attempts to win back Sophia's trust, understanding the journey ahead would be lengthy. He watched her from afar, seeing that she was starting to lower her defenses, yet something still restrained her. Sophia, in the meantime, endeavored to concentrate on her tasks while managing her emotions. Even with all of William's efforts, the hurt from his lack of trust remained profoundly etched. One afternoon, as Sophia diligently focused on her work at her desk, she was suddenly interrupted by Emily, a colleague known for her competitive spirit and a touch of cruelty. Oh, Sophia, you certainly have a broken knack for leveraging your unique talents to advance in the company, don't you? Emma remarked with a wicked grin. Sophia paused her typing and turned to Emily, a look of confusion on her face. What are you saying, Emily? Well, you see, maintaining a close relationship with the superior, putting on that obedient persona, it appears to be effective. Who can say how far you might take it, Emily pressed on, her tone laced with venom. Emily's words pierced Sophia with a sharp intensity just as she was about to reply. William rounded the corner and caught snippets of their discussion. He swiftly moved closer, his gaze fixed on Emily. Emily, could you clarify what's going on here? William inquired with determination. Emily stood still, suddenly aware of his presence. Nothing, Mr. Bennet. Merely a conversation among peers. William folded his arms, a clear sign of his annoyance. If that's how you envision a dialogue, allow me to clarify something. This type of behavior is unacceptable. Within my team, Sophia has earned her own place, and I will not tolerate any insinuations to the contrary. Got it? Emily fumbled her words, offering a jumbled reply before hastily exiting. Clearly flustered, William glanced at Sophia, who remained in a state of disbelief. How are you doing? He inquired, his voice taking on a gentler quality. Indeed, thank you, William. Sophia responded, her mind still grappling with the events that had unfolded. Don't allow individuals like her to affect you. You're capable of so much more, he remarked, offering her a supportive smile. Before heading back to his office later that same day, William resolved to delve deeper into Sophia's circumstances. He found himself unable to shake off thoughts of the two men who approached her outside the office. After placing a few subtle calls, he uncovered their identities: predatory lenders, notorious for exploiting those in need. Without a moment's pause, William set up a meeting with them. He encountered them at a secluded spot and wasted no time getting to the essence of the matter. Sophia Clark has no obligations to you at this point. Here is the amount she owed, including interest. Let me be perfectly clear: if I find out that you've contacted her or her mother again, the repercussions will extend beyond just financial matters. The men, feeling the weight of William's stern presence, took the payment without hesitation. As he departed, William sensed a burden being released from his shoulders. Finally, Sophia would be liberated from this weight. Days later, Sophia discovered the truth about William's actions. She discovered from Chloe, who had caught wind of a rumor regarding William's direct involvement with the men who were pressuring her. Fuming, Sophia stormed into his office. William, I must speak with you, she declared, stepping in. Unannounced, he glanced up from his documents, taken aback by the intensity of her resolute gaze. Of course. What do you need? What prompted you to settle my debt? Who granted you the authority to meddle in my life in such a manner? She inquired, her tone resolute yet brimming with feeling. William inhaled deeply before he replied, I took action out of a concern for you, Sophia, as I couldn't bear to witness you being in danger from those men. Sophia shook her head, a wave of frustration washing over her. You just don't get it. That was something I had to deal with by myself. At this moment it seems as though I have a debt to you. That was never my desire. William rose from his seat and circled the desk, drawing closer to her. You have no obligations to me, Sophia. I acted to safeguard you, driven by genuine care, rather than duty or expectation of reward. They remained quiet, locked in a gaze that spoke volumes. The atmosphere was charged with emotion. In an unexpected moment, William moved closer, and before he could think twice, he drew Sophia into a kiss. She paused briefly, then responded, allowing herself to become immersed in the experience. As they finally separated, William the first, Sophia started, but he cut her off. I recognize my past mistakes, but I'm eager to make things right. I aspire to be a person you can rely on, a person who remains steadfast by your side, regardless of the intention resenters circumstances. Sophia gazed at him, her mind swirling with the myriad of emotions she was struggling to comprehend. This appears to be more intricate than necessary, she replied, with a timid smile. Then let's make it simpler. William grasped her hand, his gaze penetrating as he searched her eyes. Sophia Clark, would you do me the honor of being my girlfriend? Sophia paused, her silence lingering for a heartbeat, before a gentle smile broke across her face, and she nodded in agreement. Indeed, William, I shall. William's smile radiated, a sense of pure relief and joy. He understood that obstacles lay in wait, yet in that instant, nothing else held significance. At last they found themselves united as the days unfolded. After the beginning of their relationship, the dynamic between William and Sophia started to evolve. The presented workload continued to be challenging, yet the new atmosphere infused their daily practices. With a surprising vitality, William appeared at ease and cheerful, while Sophia, despite her concerns, started to place her trust in him more. And on a quiet afternoon, as he assessed the marketing campaign, William cast a glance at Sophia and offered a warm smile. Have I mentioned how incredible you are at your craft? He inquired. Noncantly, Sophia let out a gentle laugh, her gaze drifting to the documents spread across the table. No, but there's no reason to embellish. The truth, I'm simply fulfilling my responsibilities. Honestly, you possess a remarkable gift. Your dedication is truly inspiring, he remarked, leaning in slightly to convey the sincerity of his statement. Sophia felt a warm flush creep across her cheeks, but just as she was about to say something, Chloe entered the room, carrying a pile of papers. I hope I'm not interrupting. Something significant or intimate? Chloe remarked, giving Sophia a playful wink. Sophia sighed dramatically as William grinned clearly, entertained by the daughter. Disruption. We focused on our tasks, Chloe. Sophia responded, striving to maintain a serious demeanor. Of course you are, Chloe shot back, setting the documents down on the table. Well, savor your craft with that. She departed, throwing one final enigmatic glance over her shoulder. William chuckled while Sophia rolled her eyes, attempting to suppress the grin that was beginning to emerge on her face. With each passing day, their moments of ease and comfort in each other's company grew increasingly common. While having lunch at the office, William nonchalantly brought up the notion of officially meeting Sophia's mother. It seems like it would be lovely to share more moments with your mom, he remarked, mouthful that she appears to be an incredible individual. Sophia hesitated briefly, taken aback by the proposal. Are you looking to increase your time at the hospital? The atmosphere leaves much to be desired. It's not focused on the surroundings. If it matters to you, then it matters to me, he responded with genuine sincerity. Sophia's heart swelled with warmth at his words. She found it challenging to fully lower her defenses, yet William was demonstrating that he could be a person worthy of her trust. That same evening, during his visit to Grace, William was met with a welcoming smile. William, it's a pleasure to encounter you once more. Sophia can't stop talking about you, Grace said, glancing at her daughter with a mischievous sparkle in her eyes. That's not true, Mom, Sophia protested as William let out a soft chuckle. It's truly delightful to be here, Grace. How do you find yourself today? He inquired deftly, redirecting the conversation. Their exchange was casual and effortless, allowing Sophia to feel increasingly comfortable. William appeared to seamlessly integrate into the family dynamic, and Grace openly expressed her approval. Several days later, William delighted Sophia by planning a charming little excursion for her. Understanding her fatigue from work and the stress of her mother's situation, he thought that a breath of fresh air might be just what they needed. He led her to a serene park, away from the noise and chaos of urban life. As they strolled through the trees, Sophia sensed the tightness in her shoulders beginning to melt away. I appreciate this, William. I truly needed a moment like this, she said, gazing at him with a heartfelt smile. Sophia, you are worthy of far greater than this. I simply wish to see you joyful, he responded, softly grasping her hand. Sophia looked at their entwined hands, a wave of emotion washing over her. The act was straightforward yet brimming with significance. On a bench by the lake, Sophia started to share more about her childhood, her dreams and her fears. William absorbed every word with rapt attention, allowing each one to resonate as if they held great value. Sophia, your strength is truly remarkable. There a quality I genuinely respect in you, he remarked, maintaining eye contact, and you possess a unique ability to inspire me. to believe in my own strength, she responded with a smile in a moment of unexpected intimacy. William leaned in, just a bit, and pressed his lips against hers. The kiss was gentle, brimming with unvoiced commitments, reinforcing the connection they had been nurturing. After a brief pause, William withdrew softly, gazing at her with a contented smile. I never imagined I could experience these feelings once more before you arrived. He admitted, his tone gentle. Sophia's cheeks burned, yet she held her gaze steady. She confessed that our feelings aligned. The subsequent days were defined by this blossoming intimacy. They harmonized their professional responsibilities with personal experiences, seeking a rhythm that suited both aspects of their lives. William began to include Sophia in his business choices, actively seeking her insights and appreciating her contributions. Sophia, in response, experienced a growing sense of confidence and security. With him by her side, the atmosphere inside the office shifted. Ever since Sophia and William began their relationship, even though they maintained a low profile, the bond between them was undeniable, and it could not be entirely concealed. Subtle actions revealed their true selves. A lingering glance, a subtle smile, and the way William always managed to find and manage as the same excuse to be close to her. One morning, while Sophia was tidying her desk, William showed up at her office door with an envelope in hand. I require your assistance with a matter beyond the office today. Would you accompany me? He inquired, attempting to maintain a nonchalant demeanor. Absolutely. What is it exactly? Sophia inquired, intrigued. I are going to meet with one of the company's partners. It's a brief journey, he remarked, keeping the invitation ambiguous. Eventually, Sophia came to understand that the journey took more time than she had anticipated. In the car, William appeared to be in a deeper state of thought than normal. Yet, he also exuded a sense of calmness. He took her to a secluded vineyard, embraced by undulating green hills and a pristine blue sky. Is this the collaborator? Sophia inquired, astonished by the stunning panorama. With a warm smile, William opened the car door for her. Not quite. This location holds a unique significance for me. I wish to share this with you. Sophia found herself at a loss for words as they strolled among the vines. They occupied a designated table on the terrace where a modest lunch was prepared for them. Sophia's curiosity was impossible to conceal. What was the gray reason for bringing me here? William gazed at her, his expression earnest yet tinged with a subtle fragility. This location serves as a poignant reminder that existence revolves around the decisions we make. This place is my go-to whenever I seek understanding. Recently, my thoughts have been consumed by the desire for you to be an integral part of my life. Sophia felt her heart pounding in her chest. Just as she was about to reply, a waiter appeared with 2 glasses of wine, breaking the tension in the air. She took a moment to reflect on what she had just heard while savoring their lunch. William opened up about his childhood, sharing moments he seldom disclosed to others. Sophia came to understand that beneath the assured exterior of the CEO lay a complex individual she was still uncovering. Upon their return to the office later that afternoon, Sophia sensed a deeper connection with William than she had ever experienced before. Yet the truth of their surroundings swiftly became apparent. The following day, a crucial meeting with investors positioned them at odds with one another. In the course of the presentation, Sophia took the opportunity to question several of William's concepts, suggesting more daring alternatives. The conversation maintained a professional demeanor, yet an undercurrent of tension lingered. Following the meeting, William summoned Sophia to his office. It would have been great to hear your ideas ahead of the meeting, don't you think? He asserted, attempting to convey a sense of authority and forfeit the element of surprise. I thought you enjoyed a good challenge, Sophia said, playfully teasing him. William observed her intently for a moment before breaking into a smile. I do. But you surprised me, and that doesn't happen often. They shared a laugh, lightening the mood. Both of them had always placed great value on their work, yet they were discovering a distinctive approach to harmonizing their personal and professional lives. Later that day, an unforeseen event rattled the very foundations of Sophia's existence. Chloe called her from the hospital. Sophia, it's imperative. You arrive immediately. Your mother's situation has deteriorated. Chloe spoke with a weighty tone. Sophia abandoned all else and hurried to the hospital. William, sensing her urgency, was determined to accompany her at the hospital. Grace was stable, yet the doctors conveyed that her condition would necessitate additional care in the while. Months ahead, Sophia struggled to maintain her composure, yet quiet tears streamed down her face as she absorbed the instructions. William grasped her hand throughout, silent yet present. Once the doctors departed, he turned his gaze to Sophia, who appeared clearly unsettled. I have arrived, Sophia. You are not alone in this journey. Sophia embraced him, drawing solace from his company. William appeared to be the steady presence she required at that moment. In the days that followed, William became increasingly involved in her life. He took the initiative to modify Sophia's work schedule, coordinated hospital visits, and made every effort to ease her burdens. Chloe certainly took note of this and felt compelled to share her thoughts. He truly cares for you. You realize such encounters are rare and special. Sophia found herself at a loss for words. Even though William's actions conveyed so much, she continued to grapple with the anxiety of relying on another person. One evening, as they pored over documents in the office, William shattered the stillness. Sophia, I understand that times have been challenging, but I want you to be aware that I am here for you always. I aspire to be your cornerstone, your source of support whenever you require it. Sophia gazed at him, her eyes glimmering with a blend of feelings and appreciation. I never thought anyone would go to such lengths for me, for us. William leaned in, softly caressing her cheek. All of this and even more is what you truly deserve, observe. Sophia, this time she initiated the journey. Sophia pressed her lips against his, savoring the moment with deliberate tenderness. As they separated, an unspoken understanding lingered between them, signaling that a shift had occurred. They had moved beyond merely seeking balance. They were crafting a creation together, an outcome neither had foreseen. How about we pull a prank on those who just skim through the result? All of there is longer reserity. Comments, drop a milkshake in the comments. Only those who reach this point will truly comprehend. Let us proceed with the narrative. As they departed the indulgent as a fast day, so please departed the indulgent with the narrative, with the indulgent office that evening, fingers intertwined. Sophia sensed that after what felt like an eternity, the fragments of her life were at last aligning harmoniously, and the days that ensued, the bond between Sophia and William deepened significantly. His presence during her most challenging times stirred emotions within her that she had long since buried. Nevertheless, Sophia was acutely aware that the equilibrium between her personal and professional life was fragile, particularly given that their relationship attracted curious looks and murmurs around the office. One afternoon, as Sophia immersed herself in an urgent project, Chloe quietly made her way over to her. Chloe leaned in closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. There's something you need to know. Emily is circulating gossip that you are receiving a preferential treatment due to your connection with William. Sophia let out a sigh, fully anticipating this sort of remark. That's quite expected, Chloe. From the very beginning she has perceived me as a rival long before William came into the picture. Indeed, however, she is currently attempting to persuade her fellow colleagues. It appears she aims to create a sense of isolation for you, Chloe continued. Sophia struggled to maintain her composure, yet Chloe's words struck deeply. She was concerned that her connection with William might negatively impact her professional standing. She resolved to take initiative. Later that day, Sophia made her way to William's office. We need to talk, she stated gently, shutting the door behind her. William gazed at her, captivated, concerning what topic? Regarding the perception of our relationship. In this context, there are individuals circulating unfounded claims, and this could jeopardize my professional reputation. William's demeanor shifted as he rose from his chair, a weight settling in the air around him. Who is responsible for this? It's irrelevant who, William. The crux of the matter is that I wish to manage this independently. I need to demonstrate my commitment to my craft rather than being influenced by our relationship. William paused briefly before giving his consent. I appreciate your perspective and I want you to know that I'm available if you require my support without fail. Sophia acknowledged his support with a nod, yet she understood that this was a challenge. She needed to confront alone on that very night. An unforeseen event unfolded. As William sat at home poring over his documents, his personal security reached out with a call. Mr. Bennett, the individuals you hired to ensure Miss Clark's peace are once more hanging about. We felt it was important to share this with you. William sensed a fierce rage bubbling within him. He had previously confronted this matter, yet the mere presence of them lingered uneasily in his mind. Without a moment's pause, he directed that they be kept under careful observation the following day. Amidst the bustle of the workday, William summoned Sophia to his office. "Have a question for you, have you? Observed anything unusual recently? Is anyone troubling you beyond the workplace?" he inquired straightforwardly. Sophia furrowed her brow deep in thought. "No. What prompts your question?" William paused, contemplating his response. "My only concern is your safety." Sophia sensed he was concealing something, yet she chose not to pursue the matter further. She understood that William often felt compelled to shield her from harm, even when she preferred to face things on her own. Later that day, as he exited the office, William resolved to face the men once more. He discovered them in a dilapidated tavern in the heart of the city. Upon his entrance, they instantly acknowledged him and scrambled to rationalize their being there. "Mr. Bennett, we seek to avoid any conflict. Our presence is solely for professional and reasons unrelated to Miss Clark." "One among them," remarked William, interjected, his tone steady and authoritative. "This is a statement I will make just a single time. I would prefer if you kept your distance from Sophia and her mother. Moving forward, the repercussions will be far graver than merely having a discussion." "Got it." The men swiftly nodded. Unmistakably daunted, William departed, convinced he had resolved the issue, yet he understood the importance of being truthful with Sophia. 2 days later, Sophia observed a change in William. He appeared troubled, as though weighed down by a heavy load. Driven by curiosity, she made her way to his office. As they came to a close, "William, what's happening? You've been behaving oddly recently," she remarked, shutting the door softly behind her. William gazed at her, a palpable uncertainty in his eyes. At last he let out a deep breath. "I visited those individuals who were troubling you. Once more I discovered they had been lingering nearby, and I aimed to ensure they wouldn't cause you any more trouble." Sophia stood, still absorbing his words. Initially she was taken aback, but soon after irritation set in. "Did you really do this again without informing me?" she inquired, her tone elevating just a touch. "I took that action out of concern, Sophia. They posed a danger to you and your mother. I couldn't simply overlook it," William responded, attempting to rationalize his behavior. "I can manage things on my own." "Thank you," she retorted. "I can handle my own issues." "William, this isn't focused on you. It's centered on me." Her tone revealed to him that he had overstepped a boundary. "I get it, Sophia, but I can't simply sit back and watch when you're in peril," he said earnestly. The room was enveloped in silence. Both were clearly unsettled, yet an undeniable change occurred in that instant. Sophia came to understand that even though she didn't see eye to eye with William's method, his actions stemmed from a place of true concern. She inhaled deeply, seeking to her composure. "All I ask is for your trust, William. I want to maintain my independence and not feel reliant on you for everything." William moved in softly, grasping her hands. "I have faith in you, Sophia. I aspire to be a person you can depend on effortlessly and without the need for requests." Sophia gazed at him, a surge of emotion rising within her before she had the chance to reply. William moved closer and pressed his lips against hers, a gesture imbued with warmth and empathy. This time the kiss transcended mere passion. It became a bridge forged in the aftermath of conflict. As they separated, a smile spread across William's face. "It's essential for us to navigate our differences, yet I hope they don't drive a wedge between us. I am determined to make this succeed." Sophia nodded, a faint smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "Let's collaborate and bring this to fruition." They held each other close, fully aware that in the face of adversity, their bond had only deepened. Ultimately, they discovered that genuine affection is forged in times of struggle, yet deepened in moments of empathy. The ensuing months unfolded as a tapestry, woven with trials and aspirations for Sophia and William. Amidst the nurturing of Grace and the demanding rhythm of work, their bond flourished, demonstrating resilience with every day that went by. One afternoon, Sophia finally got the call she had long anticipated. "Madam Clark, the doctor shared some positive news during our phone call. Your mother is making a great recovery. She can be released from the hospital in the coming days." Sophia experienced a profound sense of relief instantly. Tears of happiness welled up, but this time they were tears and of pure joy. Immediately after ending the safe call, she dashed to William's office. He was immersed in his work, yet everything fell away the instant he caught the glimmer in her gaze. "My mother is returning home," Sophia exclaimed, nearly gasping for air. Her face lit up with a radiant smile. William rose to his feet, revving in her happiness, and enveloped her in a warm, heartfelt embrace that's truly remarkable. "Sophia, I always anticipated this moment arriving. I wish to have her back home at the earliest an opportunity. I'm absolutely thrilled." "William," she exclaimed, struggling to hold and back her enthusiasm, "I long to be by your side. Let's collaborate on this." Sophia paused, yet she understood that his presence would elevate the day to something truly extraordinary. On Saturday, they visited the hospital. Sophia's enthusiasm was palpable as she strolled through the hallways alongside William. Upon entering Grace's room, they were met with her beaming smile. "My girl," Grace said as she reached out her arms to Sophia. Sophia dashed forward to embrace her, while William lingered nearby, observing with a gentle warmth. "And this is the gentleman who remains by my daughter's side," Grace remarked, playfully glancing curiously at William. "I'm simply fulfilling my responsibilities," William said with a friendly smile. With attention and William's assistance, they returned Grace to her home. Sophia meticulously organized every detail to guarantee her mother's supreme comfort. In the days that ensued, Grace exhibited remarkable progress. She quipped that William was looking after her more attentively than "Sophia, you're taking my spot, William," Grace remarked as he poured her tea. He responded with a playful tone, ensuring you in good shape to continue your winning streak at cards, which drew laughter. The moments shared deepened the connection between William and Grace, bringing a sense of warmth to Sophia's heart. Months later, William devised a special surprise for Sophia, keeping it completely under wraps. One evening, he requested that she take the weekend off, emphasizing that he required her to be, well, rested for a surprise. Curious, Sophia consented. On Saturday, William led her to a hidden beach. The sky glowed with vibrant orange shades as the sun dipped below the horizon, while a soft breeze caressed the air. He guided her down a winding path to a charming gazebo, adorned with twinkling lights and scattered flower petals. A table was elegantly arranged, adorned with wine, glasses and candles dancing gently in the breeze. "William, what is going on here?" Sophia inquired, captivated by the splendor of the location. He took his time before responding. He gently grasped in her hand and guided her to the table. After dinner, as they discussed what lay ahead, William rose to his feet, clearly moved. "Sophia, this is all meant to illustrate just how unique you are to me. Your impact on my life is immeasurable." He grasped her hand gently, then lowered himself to one knee. "I can't bear the thought of another day passing without you here with me. Would you do me the honor of becoming my spouse?" Sophia covered her face with her hands, overwhelmed by surprise and emotion. Tears streamed down her face as she replied, "Yes, William, absolutely, without a doubt." "Yes." With a gentle motion, William adorned her finger with a delicate ring, then rose to press his lips against hers. The moment was surreal, yet undeniably real, and they both sensed it was merely the dawn of something far more extraordinary. Months later, Sophia and William found themselves standing at the altar. The wedding day unfolded like a beautifully crafted story, with each detail echoing the love and journey they had embraced together. Sophia appeared radiant in her white dress, and William stood at the altar, his smile widening as he caught sight of her. Grace, perched in the front row, observed with glistening tears in her eyes for her That instant felt like a miracle, an occurrence she had never envisioned experiencing. Grace turned to Chloe, who was seated beside her, and said, "My daughter has found someone who truly loves her the way she deserves." As Sophia approached William at the altar, their eyes met in a silent conversation that conveyed more than any spoken words ever could. The promises exchanged stirred deep emotions. Among the attendees, Sophia, "You have shown me the essence of genuine love. I vow to stand with you through every moment, to uplift you, to cherish you, and to honor you. Today I offer you my heart." William spoke, his voice brimming with feeling. "William, your arrival in my life was a delightful surprise, illuminating my world with kind and FDFC's strength and affection. I vow to cherish you completely and to confront life's challenges by your side, regardless of what we encounter," Sophia said, her tears flowing freely as the officiant proclaimed them husband and wife. Their kiss was met with a wave of warm applause. The reception unfolded as a vibrant celebration, brimming with sincere speeches and dancing that carried on into the night. Grace observed Sophia and William twirling beneath the gentle glow of the lights, a serene calm washing over her that she hadn't felt in ages. Her daughter radiated joy and contentment and affection. It was everything she had ever envisioned. Years later, Sophia and William would reflect on that day as the start of an exciting new chapter in their lives. A family was crafted from the foundations of love, partnership, and respect. In moments of adversity, they would reflect on the beginning of their journey, sparked by an unforeseen meeting that irrevocably changed their existence. Their narrative exemplified that genuine affection may not be flawless, yet it remains resilient when founded on honesty, hard work, and commitment. Do you believe Sophia made the right choice in forgiving William? We invite you to express your opinions in the comments section. On a scale from 0 to 10, how would you evaluate this narrative? Join our channel and activate notifications to stay updated on all our narratives. Be sure to explore more heartfelt tales by clicking here on the end screen.